You are now listening to the Warp World Podcast. Boom shakalaka.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 177 of the Warp World Podcast, your premier podcast for podcasting, gaming news, discussion, hot takes, everything in between. I'm xwater, and today it's just a cozy two-person episode. It's just me and my co-host, Jaku.
Hey, that's me.
That's him.
How's it going?
Going good, man. Going good. I'm a little tired from a long day, but I kind of slept in this morning, so I'm not too pooped. Yeah. I actually came to a realization this week.
Okay. Lay it on me.
All right. So you know how 2019, it was a pretty decent year. It was a pretty good year. You know, Warp World was doing good. The world wasn't in a pandemic yet, and I didn't wear a sleeve the whole year, right? Then 2020 rolls around and I got no New Year's resolution and the world goes to shit. So obviously an undisputable correlation right there between stupid New Year's resolutions and the quality of the world. So I've begun prepping for my 2021 New Year's resolution.
Do you have it, or are you still in the got some in the running that you're thinking about?
No, I figured out what I'm going to do, and I think I've set a good one here. Every single day for 2021, I'm going to do at least 50 push-ups and read at least 5 pages of a book. Train the mind and the body a little bit every day.
Mind and the body.
Yeah, minimum 5 and 50. Yeah.
Wow.
So I started doing 100 push-ups a day since our last podcast.
Oh, so you've already you already got 100 down, so.
Yeah, I figured, build a
500.
I don't want to get like sore by doing them. I want to make sure it's like I'm setting it low enough so that yeah, exactly. So that even on my worst days, I'll be like, just do the 50, bro. Just do the 50.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought you were gonna say that, you figured out that it was because you wore sleeves that everything went to shit.
Gonna take the sleeves back off. I'm sure as I do more push-ups, I'll be wearing less sleeves.
That's true.
That's a correlation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, push-ups I can do. I don't know. I 50 a day is not too bad, I think.
Yeah,
I think
50
doable.
a day is not too bad.
I've been doing pull-ups a
Oh,
lot.
nice.
Yeah, like every time I go through my bedroom door, like to grab something or whatever, I'll do a few pull-ups.
You got one of those doorway pull-up bars?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I just got one of those. I was buying. Actually, I bought a new. Let me show you real quick.
All right.
I bought this MIDI keyboard off of the classified ads, right? I figure I want to try learning some music stuff. Figured I found this bad boy for $40 and the dude was also selling pull-up bars. So I bought a pull-up bar and I put it out in my bathroom too. So whenever I go to the bathroom, I'll do like 4 or 5 pull-ups on the way in too.
Except for those emergency bathroom visits.
Except for the ones where it's like, yeah, you're really fighting the clock.
Yeah, on the way out, I'd get them. I feel like that sort of stuff, like just like, having a routine is great, but like just every now and then you pump out a few pull-ups or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will add up. It will help out.
It does. After like 2 weeks of just casual pull-upping whenever you pass by, like you build a lot of really, really strong like muscles in your lats and just like all around your upper back just gets a lot stronger. Even your biceps too.
Yeah, it's amazing how, like, as a kid, like, we were like powerhouses when it came to pull-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, knock those out, no problem. As an
like,
adult.
You're light too, right? Like, obviously you have less muscle, but you're light.
Yeah, that muscle can do so much with that weight. But now, it's like, this is so difficult. Like, as an adult, you're like, oh, I actually do this.
I think it's like one of the things adults forget about being a kid is just how much more active you really were. Like, there'll be days where I'll look at my Fitbit and I'll be like, man, I took like 2,000 steps today. Like, I didn't fucking move. Like, I walked to the kitchen 4 times kind of thing. As a kid, I'm just thinking around like, dude, you didn't have a car. Like, if you wanted to go somewhere, you biked, you walked, you ran, you rollerbladed, you skateboarded. You were forced to use your body to get places.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, as a kid, like, we would ride our bikes all the time.
Everywhere.
My friends lived a mile away. And so, like, I would ride my bike at least a mile to get to their house, and then I'd have to ride a mile back.
And once you're at your
Now-
friend's house, you're probably like doing some dumb goofing off shit too, right? Like,
Oh yeah, we
Hey,
would
let's
we
go
would
down the
ride
street.
around and terrorize the neighborhood.
yeah, exactly. Let's go terrorize the neighborhood.
Yeah, and then you had you had the wind. So like a mile, like riding a bike in a mile with no wind, okay, fine. But like 10, 20 mile per hour winds pushing against you, that's
Ooh.
a workout.
Yeah, for sure. But then the way home, you're speeding, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love when you're like on a hard bike ride and you turn around and then it's like, now I am speed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my
But yeah,
favorite.
like even like I my skateboard's electric, so like I don't get the exercise on that either. I just like the stance and the leg muscles are fine, but not like the kicking and all that. So
Mhm.
like
Definitely a little
Man.
less, but that sounds. I want to try your boost board one day because it just
Yeah.
sounds so fun.
it is so much fun, and it when the weather's good for it, which is a lot of time. You know, it's so nice to be able to get around, and like I can get places faster on that than my car in Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. Like my commute to work when I would ride that on all the way to work, it was like maybe like 25 minutes, give or take. And
Not
car would
bad.
be like half an hour or so.
Yeah.
15 minutes on a good day for the car, but like that was rare. So like it was just so much nicer being out in the fresh air and wind and all that fun stuff. So it's an experience. It's fun. And when we were out with Pooh in Portland, we were doing the scooters.
The scooters were so fun, dude.
Yeah.
Even despite the guy, remember that guy I kind of like clipped into
Yep.
a little bit, and he very intentionally like tried to knock me over.
Yeah.
Man, that shit was. I almost fucking fell. That guy was a dick.
Yeah, there was two incidences on those scooters with us. There was that guy, and then there was like a guy getting out of the car and like just blocking it. And it's
Didn't
like,
look. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, dude, like you got to watch for like bikes and scooters and stuff because that was the bike lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, like we have the scooters now in Chicago, and they haven't gone away yet. I think they're year round now. Last year it was just a trial that they were doing,
Mhm.
and then this year they came back out. And it seems like they're going to be here to stay. So that's cool. I'm excited about that because
Yeah.
it gets more people out, less cars on the road. Always a good thing.
Absolutely. More scooters though, which I know, like in San Francisco and San Diego, like, oh man, I know the locals despise those scooters with like every ounce of their being is like, I fucking hate these scooters.
So Chicago, and I don't know if this happened to all places that have them now, but Chicago requires them to have a lock attached to them.
Uh-huh.
And for you to lock them up to something when you're done. So one, you can't just like leave them in the middle of a street. They'd have to be locked to like a tree or a post or something.
I see.
And two, someone can't take the scooter that you said you put down and then throw it in the river. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It keeps them less crazy. So
Absolutely. All right.
but yeah, it's good times.
So you want to jump into, we got a lot to cover tonight with the Game Awards, and I'm excited to talk about all the announcements, all the awards. Do you
Yeah.
prefer to start a particular way?
Let's start with what they showed off and then get into the awards, because I think we can talk a lot more about some of the awards than what they showed off. And we'll see where we go.
Let's do it. All right.
Yeah.
Then we both have lists of the announcements ahead of us, so we can, jump through if there's any that look cool to you. We'll jump through each and we'll go yay or nay on whether we go on a deep dive of it. How about that?
Sure.
All right. So first announcement was Tachia. I don't know if I'm
Tachia.
saying that right. It looked like a cool like adventure game based off of Polynesia.
Yeah. New Caledonia.
New Caledonia. Yeah.
Yeah. It looked interesting. We could dive into this one a little bit just because it is a little unique. It kind of reminded me of Wind Waker.
I said the same. Yeah, I was watching
Yeah.
it, and so I see the raft, and I'm like, it's Wind Waker. I see the little character climbing a cliff. It's Breath of the Wild. They go underwater. It's Subnautica.
And then they jump off and they got the leaf thing. And
Yeah.
then it also reminds me of Odyssey.
Right, because she takes control of like a little crab.
Yeah. So it looks cool. If we learned anything about like these game companies that like build these games around like the lore or just like their community or their countries, like they usually do pretty good because like look at Untitled Goose Game. Like they involved a lot of the people, or like the entire like nation was involved in that game in some way or something crazy about that. But this looks kind of neat. I don't know if I'd play it, but like it does look cool. It looks nice, and like I'm sure they were super excited to show it off at the Game Awards because like, you know, what other big show can you do that at?
Right. Exactly. And it did look really cool. But I think you're right. It looks cool. I probably won't end up playing it myself, but that's fine.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe we'll be surprised and we will end up playing it, but yeah.
Maybe.
It's one of those things.
How about Loop Hero? Devolver Digital announced a new game with their cheeky little announcement. Did you see the way they announced it?
Oh my.
Devolver Digital is so weird. I love them.
They are very weird. I did not care for Loop Hero.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I feel like I saw gameplay and I didn't learn anything about what I was seeing in that trailer.
Is it a card game? Is it an adventure? Like, is it a like a mud? What is it? Is it multiple games?
Something about some deck building.
Is there looping involved? I'm out of loops. Like
I'm out of the loop. Yeah,
I've
Loop
learned
Hero,
nothing about
I'm
the game. You spent 3 minutes on your cheesy announcement, and you showed me 30 seconds of footage that did not explain anything to me. I'm out. For that reason, I'm out.
For that reason, I'm out. I love it. All right, how about Nier Replicant remake? This is a remake. I didn't even realize while I was watching the trailer. Someone told me after, but the recent game was Nier Automata, and then this is a remake of the original Nier game.
Yeah, people love Nier. Like that's the character's name, I guess.
I think the character is like 2B or something. It's like a
2B,
robot girl. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, it's 2B. Yeah, Nier. Like people seem to love this series, and like I played the last game a little bit, like maybe like the first level for like 30 minutes or so.
Okay, so you might be able to tell me a little about it then.
It's like a bullet hell slasher game in one.
That's what
weird.
I'm seeing. Yeah, and such a 3D bullet hell is such an interesting idea because I really like bullet hells.
It was fun, but a little bit of it was tedious, and then it was very difficult, which is cool. Like that means you can master it. But like as a quick like play, I sucked at it.
Not a pick up and put down kind of game. Like
definitely not.
You really got to invest yourself into it.
Yep.
What I thought was interesting about it is, you know how they all have their card at the end and it shows the title and when it's available, follow us. In this one, it shows PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. So it's not a next gen game. It's which is very weird to me because like it's coming out in January, February, March, April of next year. Yeah. For the first like 6 months of the year, I have to do that. I can't like 7 and beyond. I'm good.
Well, I mean, it's easy. April's the 4th month, so you know we're December, so 4 or 5 months away.
Yeah.
Just gotta. But no, that is interesting, and I'm sure it's gonna be like. Well, the nice thing is you can play all of these games on your new systems, and that's probably what they were doing. They're like, it's not that graphically. It's better looking than the original game is, obviously.
Yeah.
But the next gen systems aren't going to make it that much different. So let's just focus on getting out a quality product of a game for these systems, and people that have the new systems can play it, and the people that have the old systems can play it, and we don't have to worry about scarcity of these systems and stuff, and gets more users. So it seems like a good play because it doesn't need to be that much better looking.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna the next gen games don't even look that much better because realistically they already look dope.
Yeah, and I think the problem right now is with next gen is like so much of the focus is still on graphics, but we need to think about what we can do with this extra CPU power and all this stuff, and that's like AI stuff. And so like enemies can be so much more difficult and like reactive and stuff, and like that's gonna take a while to get there because it's been graphics, and now it's like, all right, graphics look good. Let's not worry about those as much.
Think about sales to your average consumer though. Like if you're a marketer, what's going to sell more? Something you tell someone is going to be cooler and different and better, or something you can visually show in a commercial with flashiness, right?
And that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem is
Even with
Like,
PlayStation's new controller, like that's the coolest feature of the new console to me, and it's you can't really convey it without feeling it.
yeah. So yeah, it's tough. You're right, and that's what marketing's going to want is better graphics. But we got to somehow shift the dynamic for consumers to understand like graphics are great now. It can do cool stuff you can't see.
We don't need we got 4K 60 going this generation probably. That's good. We can stay there. Like that's good. It looks great.
Yeah. All right, next one is Shady Part of Me.
Shady Part of Me. Yeah. This one looks really cool.
It looks cool. I like the games that do this whole like black and white visualization and then add color to the games, and like it looks like very puzzle based, and so like you got some interesting stuff. It's for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC available now, which is really cool. So like if you want to play it, you can play it right now.
Yeah, I think it just looks so interesting with how the like I don't understand the gameplay yet because I've only seen the trailer, but it definitely looks as though you're controlling either the character or the shadow, or you're controlling them both, but you're somehow solving puzzles by using the shadows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which seems very interesting.
Yeah. You got to love puzzle games, I think, at the end of the day, when it comes to that sort of stuff. Because like they're so much fun, and like it's not just like, oh, find the key in the box. It's like, all right, how can I use the light to affect this shadow to do what I need?
Yeah, so,
neat stuff there.
Mm-hmm. I will say though, I totally agree. Well, at least I acknowledge like the whole like it's very black and white, and that's like definitely the style they're going with being about shadows and everything and all that. But I like colorful games. I really like my games to be very colorful and vibrant. So the visual feel of it doesn't super appeal to me.
I'm you know, I like color in my games, but like at the end of the day, if the art style says this should be black and white or should be a lack of color, I'm all for it. Like I really like to see games use that as a core component of their game, really.
Yeah. I don't think it would work with color, but I just like it's just that's not like my bread and butter.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of your bread and butter though, Smash Brothers got an update.
Yes, it did, and
I don't know
nobody
how they
saw
did
this one coming.
They've literally made a Fire Emblem character and put him in the game first,
and then reskinned him. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they chose the Fire Emblem character with the longest sword possible, and
there are now more Fire Emblem characters in the game than fans of the game.
Yeah, what? Fans of Smash Bros? None right now, dude.
No. So yeah, Sephiroth though. Holy shit. What? That's spoilers, by the way. No, like if you don't know by now, like
yeah, that's the whole theme of this episode is spoiling all of that. Yeah. So
like that was not expected.
We got to talk about the way that they revealed him, because it was just it really showed off. Because I've not even played Final Fantasy VII, and I'm aware that Sephiroth is like one of video games' most powerful villainous bosses of all time.
Right.
And to see him show up in the cutscene that we all saw basically when the game first launched, right? We all saw the Gleam, I think it is, that light sphere thing. Essentially,
speaking of Gleam, join our giveaway.
Yes, join our giveaways. Warp World Holiday Hype. We got to talk about that. We'll do that after this.
Yeah,
but totally. I can't believe we missed that at the start. To see him take down the thing that literally like is the plot device for World of Light, Smash Bros. Story mode, with as if it was nothing. Like you had a cast of 70-ish characters trying to do all they can. Palutena, a literal goddess, could not deal with Gleam. The only person who was able to do it was Kirby, because he goes Poyo, and then he flies away on a star that's faster than the speed of light. So
yeah, he got lucky there.
Right, he got lucky. How about when he fucking stabs Mario in that silhouette, but it's not actual? Do you remember that part of the trailer?
Yeah. Oh my God. Because I'm like, Mario died again.
Right. They keep doing this. They keep stabbing Mario, dude.
They blew him up. They had him get like speared by Ridley. Like it's just they're doing so much. The trailer was amazing. One of the things I'm going to miss the most about anytime Smash is not like being updated is missing these trailer updates. And like the Subspace Emissary continues and will always be like one of my favorite, like, I guess, like stories with all the ways they introduce the characters to each other.
Yeah.
Through that, it was so good. And like,
that's what these trailers feel like. They feel like what Subspace Emissary was, because you put them all together and they don't have, I wish they had a cohesive storyline with the trailers, right? Yeah.
They seem like bits and pieces here and there, but like you get little glimpses of it, and like I miss that so much. And I know the next Smash Brothers, they're going back to their roots, and they're not going to have all these characters. That's already been said.
Yeah, and there's no way they're going to be able to keep up this size of a roster.
No. So I hope that they like take a look at this and be like, let's do Subspace Emissary type thing again, because like that would be so much fun. But regardless, Sephiroth was a huge surprise. Because I was talking with Saturn earlier in the weekend today and stuff, and I'm like, who's it gonna be? And like there's all these rumors. It's like, oh, it might be Master Chief, it could be I don't know, it could be anybody, right? I saw Double Dragon got announced for the Switch today. Double Dragon Nexus.
Oh wow.
I don't remember. And I'm like, maybe it's Billy or Jimmy. Like, I don't know if that'd be Game Awards like worthy, but like Billy or Jimmy would be interesting.
It wouldn't be shocking because they've done so many weird out of nowhere characters so far. Yeah, like it feels like every announcement they've done with characters so far has had some sort of tie-in to try and promote something. Like Byleth with Fire Emblem Three Houses. Banjo-Kazooie was more so fan demand kind of thing. Same with, I guess, King of Fighters, Terry and everything. But Joker, Dragon Quest, they were trying to get like various series representation, and we already have Final Fantasy in, let alone Final Fantasy VII. So it's shocking to see a character from the same thing, but it does make enough sense considering Final Fantasy VII Remaster is a multi-part kind of series that's happening, and there's going to be another title probably within the next 14 years, right?
Yeah. I wonder if we'll get a Switch port or a Switch Pro port eventually.
Yeah, it would be, maybe that's like part of the deal here. Like Nintendo's could like, listen, we'll keep supporting you guys with Smash Bros characters, but you got to do us a little favor.
Yeah, so it was, and it's nice to have the villain to the hero.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, if you told me back in 1998, like Cloud and Sephiroth were in Smash Brothers, I'd be like, you're smoking crack. That's a PlayStation 1 game. This is
no
N64.
way, bro. Yeah.
They don't have enough polygons to make his sword. Like either one of their swords. One's too big in one way and the other's too big long ways. Like, it's just, what are you guys compensating for? Anyways, like at the end of the day, like that's so big. That makes, 12-year-old me like super excited. Like, holy shit, what?
Yeah.
So yeah,
absolutely.
The kill like just was nothing to him. And then he becomes like, what I want them to do now is go back and change the single player story. So that right before you do the final blow, he comes in, cuts in half, and now he's the final boss, and that's it.
It'd be glorious.
Make that. Oh, give me a job, Nintendo.
I'd love to see it. Yeah.
But
one thing that was also cool about the trailer for him was like showing off his moves. They really made him look unstoppable in the game. Like every time, like he casually walks towards characters as they can't do anything against them. His sword is like just obnoxiously long, which, that's his thing, but
yeah. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was exciting. I feel like they did a disservice to it by showing it so early though.
They said December. Oh, you mean in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, This was headliner news.
Yeah, this you could have waited till the end of the show to get people, because I know people are like, well, I'm done watching now. I came for what I got what I came for.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm whatever. I still end up watching the rest of the show. But
yeah, me too.
That was definitely one of the most exciting things for me. Moving on though. We got Left 4 Dead 3. Wait, no, sorry. Back 4 Blood.
Back for Blood. Yeah, the whole time I was watching it, I was just sitting there like, Valve can count to 3 now? What's going on?
Yeah, what? We got a Left 4 Dead 3?
Yeah.
It's definitely heavily inspired from Left 4 Dead.
I think they mentioned during the interview section too that Turtle Rock Studios, the people behind it, have people from Left 4 Dead, like headlining the project.
Yeah, it looks just like Left 4 Dead. From like the safe rooms to the enemies and all that stuff. It looks cool. I mean,
we saw the boomers, the creepers. We saw all of the standard Left 4 Dead zombies. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, this could be a good, fun co-op game with friends. Like Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 were great, but those are 12-year-old games. You know, like I'm sorry, like they're still fun, but like I want something a little bit better,
something a little fresh.
Yeah, something fresh, exactly.
Something fresh to play with the gang. I would love to get some, like, Friend Friday immediately came to my head here. Were you part of the squad when we played World War Z when that was on Epic?
No.
That game was very much like this too, and that was a great time.
Yeah, I think these games are so much fun though, and like pick up and play sort of things. Like you don't have to get too involved in them, and matches last pretty much as long as you need them to. So
you jump in for a quick mission and jump out.
Exactly. So excited about that. We got Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. I'm gonna say pass on that guy.
Yeah, let's pass on that guy. It looked neat. That's it.
Yeah. Scavengers.
I don't even remember what it was.
He told me to go to their website and log in, and I zoned out when he told me what to do.
Yeah, that's fair. How about Warhammer 40K Darktide? Did this capture you at all?
No, I'm not a Warhammer person.
Same. Also not a Warhammer person. All right. Well, even if it didn't capture us, we would be a terrible video game podcast if we didn't at least mention Dragon Age coming back.
Right.
Dragon Age
is back.
A very beloved series in what feels like the Skyrim era of video games, the 2005 to like 13 period.
It's the Age of the Dragon, man.
The Age of the Dragon. Did you play these games at all?
No.
Yeah, same.
I never played them.
Same, man. I got a buddy who would get 16 hours in and then restart because he picked the wrong dialogue box, and then and I'm like, bro, how can you just save scum it? Like, come on.
Yeah. Like there's you got to do that once in a while, man. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Very interesting to see it come back. Very cool. But you know what? I'll wait for more because it was a teaser trailer. We didn't get anything that looks like gameplay. We got a teaser trailer. We didn't even get a subtitle. I don't know if it'll have one, but I'm assuming.
Yeah. Disco Asylum, the final cut. Like, I don't know if the final cut means like it was is this a series or
no idea what these games are about. I was playing Subnautica through that trailer. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I think this is like a director's cut of a game that's already come out.
Yes.
But it looks like an isometric, it looks like Fallout 1 or 2, but like updated graphics and stuff. And I don't know. I'm not excited about it, but it's not my type.
Yeah. I'm a pass on it.
Yeah, Crimson Desert.
Crimson Desert.
That's what we were calling it in Fiend's channel. It was fun. We called it Sim Village, Walking Simulator, and then Crimson Desert. It looks nice. Like the world looks massive.
It does. It visually stunning. Just visually stunning. But
almost overwhelmingly stunning.
Yeah, but I don't really like take anything away from this trailer about what kind of game it is.
Yeah, I also was like, it's like Ghost of Tsushima, but with more grunting. So.
Yeah, I kind of was getting that same kind of. It has that same kind of feeling. I don't know if it's multi. I had the impression that it's multiplayer, but then a lot of the combat looked solo. I just don't. It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. We'll see where it goes. Overcooked, meh.
Yeah, they got the Swedish Chef, which was probably the highlight of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, meh.
Yeah. Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War, and Warzone.
Meh.
Season 1, meh. Fall Guys Season 3.
Yeah, Fall Guys got a another. It's so hard to see the chat for Game Awards just start spamming dead game when Fall Guys shows up. Like, come on, man, they're doing fine. They're doing okay.
They're doing okay. They're not doing as good, but I think they're doing okay.
Yeah, they're holding up just fine. I am a little sad that they didn't give us any gameplay though. Like, that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, it was all like pre-rendered stuff.
Yeah, it was an adorable CGI.
It looks cool
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes with the ice and all that. Maybe we need gameplay before we can really comment on it.
Yeah, coming soon. I just want to see what new maps. Like, I'd like to see what the new maps look like.
Yeah. Elite Dangerous. This is a game that's out but not out yet, and it's Odyssey, so it's like a new version of a game that's not out yet. So here's
I think it might
version.
be an expansion because Elite Dangerous is out. I know a buddy of mine got really into it. It's like a really cool space game.
Still I thought it was still like kind of early access.
Oh yeah, maybe it was an early access thing.
So is this a DLC for it then, or is this like an extra game now off of it? Either way, I like that's the problem. Is like when I played Elite Dangerous years ago, like I was like, yeah, it's buggy. I don't know.
Okay,
and I haven't heard anything.
How about the next game, Fast and the Forestus?
Oh,
starring Vin Diesel.
Oh, that was
with
not
the dinosaurs.
Yeah. So Arc 2, Arc 1's not even like done or finished, I thought. So first of all, no thanks.
Arc confuses the shit out of me, dude, because I feel like every time I see Arc, it gives me the impression that it's doing tremendously well, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone beyond like 3 years ago try this game.
Yeah, I played it like when I was big into Rust. We went to Arc for a week or so, and it's just like I got a refund on it. It was not fun.
I did the same thing. I played it for a bit and I got a refund because I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, and so like for them to come out with Arc 2, just it seems weird. And like Vin Diesel, like, so I didn't see the trailer because I went to get water, and then I came back down and all I saw was like Vin Diesel standing there. I'm like, is that fucking Vin Diesel?
Right. And it was such a weird render of him too. Like
it
almost looked like they copy and pasted his head onto something.
Yeah, and then like they're like, oh, Arc 2 starring Vin Diesel. I'm like, the fuck? Why? Like, does he want to be Turok? Like,
exactly.
He could just go and be like, hey, put my face on Turok and be a lot cheaper and probably better. And then they announced an anime or like an animated series,
which also has Vin Diesel. Yeah.
And David Tennant, who I enjoy. He was a great doctor. He was a doctor in Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's where a lot of people know him from. Me and him share the same birthday. So, we got that going. But yeah, it was like, okay, this is kind of strange. Like, this is what you did with your money. I don't know. Like, I can't really, complain about a show I haven't seen anything of. I just feel like Arc is not done, and for them to come out with the second one's like a cash grab, and their user base should be pretty upset. It's my thought.
I'm just I'm so confused because their user base must be a lot bigger than I assume to be in a position where you're putting out an anime and you're putting out a second game where Arc was like a survival, like it was like Rust. Like there wasn't like a story to Arc. Like you just went in and tamed dinosaurs and shit when I played it. And now it's like you got Vin Diesel, and doing some fighting some like weird, I don't know, guy with some funky teeth, and they're running away from a dinosaur, and there's like a seer. I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, and I wonder if Arc 2 is like that. I wonder if it's more of a single player type thing, and less survival, like online stuff.
Yeah, like just a complete, like, I don't know, a God of War style adventure.
That would be the only way I could see that fan base being okay with it. Is like, hey, we've been paying for this early access game for years, and you came out with a sequel, but it's a single player experience or a co-op sort of thing. It's not a massive multiplayer game, essentially. I could see that being okay then, but then I would just probably call it like the prequel to Arc 0.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be a better name.
Arc 2 feels like a weird title. Yeah.
All right, Fist, Phi.I.S. whatever, who knows?
Yeah.
It's a Metrovania action game forged in Shadow Torch.
Yes.
Get a new name.
Just call it Fist. Just let it be Fist.
Yeah.
But combat looks
neat.
cool. I was watching it and I was like, man, this combat looks fun. but I don't know. It's not. It hasn't like really won me over.
Yeah. What I like though is the description on the YouTube on the official PlayStation channel for the trailer says the Metroidvania action game Fist. So it's referencing fucking Metroid in their description. Like, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I mean,
give us a fucking Metroid game, Nintendo. Where are you at?
Metroid Prime 4. I was like kind of on the like I wasn't expecting it, but I was prepared to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, exactly. And I was hoping Reggie was gonna wear a pin. I know he's not a president of Nintendo anymore, and like he wouldn't if they had something, they would have totally been like, Reggie, please announce this. He'd be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna announce Metroid Prime 4. That is my one regret leaving Nintendo. Next game though, Evil Dead, looks like Friday the 13th.
Yeah, so apparently Evil Dead is like horror comedy in some other genre that I've never heard of.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, so this is brand new to me. This is my first time hearing of Evil Dead, but this looked really cool because I was confused all the way through the trailer. They show like some werewolves, they show a girl in a cottage, then they show a guy in a night suit, and I'm like, okay, why has he got chainmail? What's going on here?
Yeah, it should be a good game. The comedy of Evil Dead is really good. I was trying to get people spamming Fiend's chat Evil Dead game. Didn't work. Speaking of dead games, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. They're bringing it back.
Coming back from the dead.
Looked neat. I don't think we need to say much more.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really love the visuals, to be honest. The
visuals weren't that great. But one of the big news is that they are doing the Capcom like arcade collection. And it's like a whole bunch of old games and it's free, or at least some of the games are free.
Yeah, their wording of it was very interesting where it was like free, but there is paid DLC for like stuff in it. And it's like,
what if it's free to download, but it costs 25 cents to play each game?
Oh my God. Like each time you're playing, it's like, all right, charge you, either go buy some tokens.
Microtransaction fucking quarters. Why? People would pay. That's the problem with that idea.
I think you're right.
Oh, okay. Microsoft Flight Simulator, cool on the Xbox.
Yeah,
neat.
We'll get over that. Yeah, we'll pass that.
Super Meat Boy Forever. That was an endless
development
runner
for forever. More like, haha.
Was that not an endless runner game though too?
That's what I said when I watched this trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. They changed it. They got rid of it.
Because they saw how terrible of an idea it was to turn Super Meat Boy into an endless runner. Yeah. It's like, hey, we made a game that nobody has ever wanted. It's like, oh, okay, well, let's not do that.
Yeah, endless runners can be fun in their own way, but like, I don't want.
You don't make Super Meat Boy into an endless runner. Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe it still is an endless runner. Like looking at the footage. There's not any explicit like implication that you can turn around.
Well, that doesn't necessarily make it an endless runner. In my mind, most endless runners, and this is technically not true either, but typically, and when I think, all right, instead of typically, what I thought Meat Boy was procedurally generated levels in the original versions that we've seen, and so that was endless like possibilities. You could just constantly be playing through levels. I see what you mean. Maybe I mistook that, but like it seemed very linear, and it was like, okay, we're gonna create a new level for you to play through. This looks like some of those levels are not generated; they look like they were created.
Yeah, they look. The levels definitely look handcrafted to be good levels, but I don't love the idea of playing a game that's. Well, I don't want to play a game where I'm automatically running. I want to control my character. Like that's what Meat Boy was so fun, because it was, it came in when there wasn't really a whole lot of hard platformers going on, and it was like, check it out, we got a hard platformer going on. It was like, yes, Meat Boy, let's go. This is so fun. So it's coming out this month. We got it on the 23rd.
Yeah. Well, who's gonna sponsor GDQ?
Who
at this point?
Right. They have been there for a long time. Yeah, they probably will still continue.
Yeah. All right. It Takes Two. This is This is from the creator. What was that game?
A Way Out, I think it was called.
A Way Out, yeah. So this is taking that same like concept, but using dolls, basically.
Yeah. It looks way more up my alley than A Way Out, though, because it's like a platformer adventure featuring 2-player co-op with this cool split screen thing. which I love the idea of.
Yeah.
Like, that's super, super what I'm into. And I just really enjoy that guy. Remember last year when he got like
Yep.
super drunk and
Oh,
swore
yeah, I mean,
all
they made
all over the
references
stage?
to like, oh, your favorite commentator, and like, yeah. That's cool. I'm excited for it. I know Fef and Fiend are interested in playing it together, so
Yeah.
that should be fun for them. Road 96. This one's an interesting one.
This one is, yeah, it looked really cool. At first I was like, I don't know if this is going to be for me, but
yeah,
rewatching it, like the idea of a procedurally generated road trip that can end differently each time and have different steps. And the goal is to get across the border, right?
yeah. It almost seems like the timing of this game is interesting. I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
This game's development could have started any time from 2016 till now and have felt like, very, very real world applicable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely an interesting one. It looked like you got caught by the police at one point, and then it looks like you take their car. And so like it will be interesting to see what comes of this game, and I'm excited to see it because it does look pretty neat.
Yeah,
it looks pretty original.
That's what's so cool about this set of games we've seen this year so far, is like so many of them are just legitimately incredibly interesting, like very unique and different.
Yeah. Speaking of not different, Elder Scrolls Online, Gates of Oblivion.
Yeah.
All right. Monster Hunter Rise.
Looks cool. Don't care.
Yep. Oddworld Soulstorm.
We saw this during the PlayStation 5 event, and I've never played this series, so I've got very little attachment to it. So
I will say this. The original Abe's Odyssey on the original PlayStation was a masterpiece. Every single game that came
back.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
So the story of Abe's, it's an interesting story about their entire game development and stuff. Like the guy has this vision for Abe's Odyssey, and he's like, I think 4 games is what he wanted to do. And he got the budget for 1, and it sold very well. And their company was only one of the companies that was like got their game out on time for holiday season.
Yeah.
Where like all these other games were delayed. So like it was like sold out everywhere. It was a huge hit. And so they were pushed to make a sequel like for the next holiday season. And so the second game was not an original vision of his. And he's like, oh no, we need like 5 years to do what we want. And like, you don't have that. You have a year. So the next game wasn't that great. And then like I think Microsoft bought the rights, and that game wasn't that great. So all the other Abe's Odysseys or Abe games since Oddworld games since then have not been that great, but they also haven't been part of the main story. So this is actually the second game in the story series.
Interesting.
And I think they just made a remake of the first one not too long ago. So like that's a good way to start. So kind of interesting to see where this goes. So I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, that is actually really cool.
Yeah, definitely an interesting like tidbit of game history on that, because it's a game you wouldn't think. And I think the company owns all the rights to it again. I think they got them back and all that stuff, so they get to do what they want.
Are they like a Sony studio now?
I think I don't know if they're a Sony studio, but they probably get something with Sony for sure. Like,
yeah. I know it is coming out exclusive. I think it's coming out exclusively on the PlayStation. Oh, it's also coming to the Epic Game Store.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I get to play it. Perfect. Cool.
Nice.
Spring 2021. Not too much longer. Great. Evil West. There was already we already saw Hood Outlaws, and we already saw Evil Dead. So
yeah. Nah. It gave me some gameplay, and I'll care more.
Yeah, Scarlet Nexus, your video's private on YouTube. I can't watch it. Unplayable. Literally unplayable.
Literally unplayable, Scarlet Nexus. I will say anything from Bandai Namco is going to fill that lovely little like action weeb game void in your life if you're looking for that. So
when they were showing off what's the Breath of Wild MMO?
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, when they were showing that off, I'm like, xwater plays this.
I actually haven't. I haven't
No,
yet.
I figured you haven't, but I was just like, it was like, I bet he does.
I've been meaning to. It does
yeah.
look really cool, but
Among Us, they showed off a new map.
we got the new map.
It was
looks
big.
so cool. It
was
big.
a big map.
Yeah, it looks
There's
big.
a robot skin.
You can choose where you spawn at the start of a round.
That's going to fuck people up.
That's so cool. I love that.
That is going to break so many people's minds.
Yeah,
because they're like, "Where'd you go?" "Oh, I went to this spot." "Oh, weird."
They've got that little like shortcut platform that like it stays on a side and you can't go back from. Like, there's so many small, unique features about this map that's like really, really cool looking. I am interested to see, like what's gonna like how it's gonna be received, because
it's different.
New features doesn't necessarily mean better, you know?
Right. It's a completely different game experience, I think, on this map than the other three. And so is it a better game experience, or was the simplicity of the other maps what made the game so much fun?
Exactly.
Remains to be seen.
I think one of the strongest principles of game design is that like sometimes the simplicity is the most important thing, like making sure it's easy to pick up by the largest amount of people. And that's a game where the complexity comes out of your interactions with other people, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we got some Fortnite news. Making this a Fortnite podcast again. We got Grand Pooh Bear with a raid too. We should make him come in. But yeah, Master Chief joins Fortnite.
Yes. And Blood Gulch joins Fortnite as well in creative mode.
Yeah. Well, but they didn't call it Blood Gulch.
What do they call it?
For copyright reasons. They dropped two names.
Oh yeah, they like made the red guy like gave some fake names. The other guy's like, I don't think that's what it's called.
Yeah. So that's neat. Master Chief was one of the characters people thought was going to come to Smash.
People have been saying that for a while, and I personally don't see it.
I don't see how. Yeah. Unless there's a Halo game, like
Bayonetta and Joker have guns, but they're a very minor part of their moveset.
Yeah, but and a franchise of theirs has been on a Nintendo system.
Yeah, I just don't see how Master Chief fits, because his moveset is shooting people. Like, it just I don't know what is his A attack going to be? What's his B attack going to be? Like, Mega Man works because he shoots a comical Mega Buster and a banana and shit and a lemon.
I still feel like they fucked Mega Man over. They should have made him like Kirby.
Oh, where he like defeats someone and takes their power?
Yeah.
Imagine playing Mega Man in that situation, that you start off with only the lemon and the Mega Buster.
Yeah, but then imagine like
you get your first
power
kill and your side B is that of whoever you just killed, then your up B. Yeah.
And what if like Mega Man stole it from the character for like 20-30 seconds? Yeah. So they couldn't use their own powers. It'd be break. It would not work. Yeah. But I
mean, someone brings up the good point that Solid Snake was pretty far away, but I don't know. Solid Snake still had combat. Like Master Chief, I don't know any hand-to-hand combat that he does, other than in the games when you sneak up behind someone, you get a I don't know what they're called, but a kill from behind someone, a brutalize or whatever.
Yeah, you just do the gun thing to the back of their head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible. I don't necessarily see it happening. But he's in Fortnite, so good for him. And we got what's it called? Walking Dead in Fortnite, because
because why not?
Why not?
Like, why not?
Everyone wants to be in Fortnite.
Yeah, like add more people to Fortnite. Like, it's funny actually. You think about it. Smash Brothers has been around for so long, and it's like, oh, so many characters are in Smash. And like, this is the biggest crossover ever. And Fortnite's like, we've been around for 3 years and we have so many characters in our game now from all over. It's just insane.
You got Star Wars characters, you've got Batman, you've got Iron Man, you've got
Marvel and DC.
Like, you've got Kratos, you got Disney. You're Kratos. You've got the God of War in there now.
Yeah, when they're gonna get the Simpsons in there next.
I wouldn't be surprised. Literally. Like I feel like Nintendo's like, we're not going to put Goku in. We're not going to put anime characters in.
Oh, I thought you were like, Nintendo's not going to let them have Goku in Fortnite. I'm like, what?
Fortnite's sitting there like, listen, you give us the money, you go into game. Like that's, I feel like that's just how it goes.
I want Goku in Fortnite now.
I also want Goku in Fortnite. I would go back to Fortnite that day.
I was talking to Saturn. Again, we were talking about characters in Smash, and I'm like, Goku got brought up because he always does, and I'm like, yeah, they literally said they wouldn't do it, but we started talking like how he would work, and I came up with the idea like once he gets over 100% damage, that's when he can go Super Saiyan, and like as you take damage, you do more damage with your physical attacks.
Defeating a Saiyan only makes him stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like take the stock and take the percentage and like increase the damage based on that.
And if you're in team mode and someone kills your partner, you go Super Saiyan.
Oh, that'd be good too. See, it'd be so much fun. Come
just
on, Bandai.
Split Krillin in half while you're at it. Let's go.
Just put them in and don't tell Nintendo, and then be like, "Oops, we forgot that code."
They've done the Jump Stars or Jump Ultimate Stars on the DS before, which is like the Smash Bros. Clone anime fighter game. I don't know why Bandai Namco hasn't, instead of when they made Jump Force, remember 2 or 3 years ago, where it's basically all of the various Shonen Jump anime heroes, villains in a game fighting in a 3D space. Do that, but make it Smash Bros. Like, why I don't understand why there aren't more Smash Bros. Clones. Like, PlayStation tried and failed. There was Icons, that game. I don't know why more people don't try.
For the Dreamcast. Yeah.
Was that Smash Bros. Style? I never played Power Stone or Power Gem or whatever.
It was Smash Brothers style in a way, yeah.
Interesting.
There was Cannon Spike was Cannon Spike was similar too, but not exactly. It was a bunch of franchise characters and stuff. Yeah. But the Jumpstars game, like for the DS, when that came out on the DS, like I was like, yes, it's like a Smash Brothers for the DS, because this would be perfect for the DS. And it took until the 3DS and like near the end of the 3DS for that game to finally come out, like a Smash Brothers for the DS. And I'm just like, what are you doing, Nintendo? You could make an N64 version of Smash Brothers for the DS and would be fine with it.
Yeah. Even if they if they intentionally made a pixel art version of Smash Bros. For the DS, that would be sick. Like
it would be
16-bit art style. You can limit the character cast down.
Yeah. Like 20 characters is more than fine.
Like if you make it look like Sonic Mania looked, like, you know how Sonic Mania had that whole, this isn't really 16-bit, but it looks like it kind of vibe, like that kind of style, smooth animations, but with the pixel art. I would love that.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we got 4 more trailers to go over real quick.
Yes. The first of which being League of Legends single-player game, The Ruined King.
Dumb. No, I mean, I'm not a League of Legends fan, but I'm sure a lot of League of Legends people are kind of excited about that. And they did say that they were coming out with a lot of League of Legends games last year. So
yeah, they talked about this. We knew this was coming. This is not what I expected, though. The combat reminds me of Raid Shadow Legends. Like, I was expecting like something more akin to like Hades, like an isometric adventure game where you fight enemies in that isometric style, but it looks like instead you get encounters, and then you have your 3 characters or so, and you do these RPG style encounters, which, hey, I'm down. If it works, it works, but I'm gonna need to see more gameplay before I get interested, because I don't play League of Legends. I have an old fondness of it, but
yeah, no, I think like I think a Hades style would have been a lot better, but I guess they have to compete with Shadow Legends.
Yeah,
so, makes sense in a way. Just Cause Mobile. So I was a big fan of Just Cause 2 and somewhat of a fan of 3, not so much a fan of 4. Like, just didn't get around to it. 1 was neat, but not nearly as fun as 2. Have you ever played those games?
I haven't, but I've always liked them from what I've seen. Like, they look awesome.
It's GTA and Saints Row combined in wacky. Well, maybe not Saints Row wackiness.
It looks very over the top with like the whole grappling onto helicopters and riding on top of cars and all that weird stuff you can do.
Yeah, the fact that you have a grappling hook makes it cool. And like, there was a mod for the second game and maybe the third game that gave you multiplayer with people. And I don't know why it never occurred to me that like this would make a perfect battle royale game. And they made that. That's what the mobile game is. It looks like a battle royale. So
is it a battle royale? I thought it was a campaign.
It looks. I mean, I saw co-op, or at least
I am seeing a multiplayer version here.
A single player Okay, so yeah, no, single player multiplayer. I thought it was a. See, I feel like it'd be so much better as a battle royale. I don't want to sound like Grand Pooh Bear here, but like make this a battle royale.
Yeah, I mean, because the funnest parts of all the battle royales are when you pull off really dumb, weird, wacky shit, and that's the brand of this game is dumb, weird, wacky shit.
Yeah, so yeah, blast through co-op battle zone. So it's just like some battle zones. It looks neat, but it being a mobile game doesn't make me excited about it. I want them to take this to the next level, put it on PC, make it a full battle royale type mode. But branch out, get that money, Square Enix. Do what you need to.
Absolutely, make that mobile money.
Yep. All right. Next
how did you feel about Humankind?
Humankind. I'm actually gonna relook at this trailer real quick because I forgot a little bit about it. Oh yes, this is the girl that is going to fail her history class.
Yes, because she's gonna play video games instead of reading textbooks.
Well, she's putting herself into all the stories. She's like, I did this. She's that meme.
You did this? I did this.
Yeah. It looks interesting. I don't know what Lucy's gonna do, other than fail her history exam. But it seemed like a Civ game without civilization, which is kind of neat.
I felt the same way. Yeah, I felt very much like this is a Civ. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And then other than that, we didn't see gameplay though. So
yeah, there was like I think there was some gameplay, but it was like very minor at the end, and that's where it's like, it looks like Civ. But the next Mass Effect. We got a sneak peek of the next chapter in this game series, which I thought was dead and could have stayed dead. But they're gonna bring it back. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a huge series, so they're sleeping on a really powerful IP. I don't blame them for wanting to bring it back. I've never played the Mass Effect games, so it's another one of those pieces of my backlog that's just been there forever. But I don't know. I would have liked to see something a little more concrete out of a teaser, because their teaser said Mass Effect will continue, which is basically what we got from Nintendo when they said, we're making Metroid Prime 4, but that's it. That's all we're telling you.
What if they're both the same game?
Oh my God.
All right. That's it for trailers and announcements of those things. Lots of cool stuff, obviously. Some lackluster stuff in our opinions, but other people might really enjoy that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think either way, it's a lot of cool stuff really for people. There's a lot of stuff out there for you.
Absolutely.
What was the biggest announcement what was your favorite thing out of all of them?
I really, really obviously got excited for Sephiroth's trailer, but the one I think that I'm most excited to like actually try and play is probably Back 4 Blood. Like, I really want to play that with everybody.
Yeah. Smash was super exciting. Back 4 Blood, super exciting. An Evil Dead game's pretty cool, but I'll wait to see that. Yeah. Oddworld for me was probably really exciting because it's been 24 years. Holy shit. It's been 24 years.
Pick the torch back up. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So that's gonna be exciting. I'm interested in that one for sure. And then like obviously Among Us map, we'll see how that goes, but super excited for them. Let's get over to some of the winners though of this event of the Game Awards.
Time to get spicy.
Yeah, we removed some of them from the list because there's just so many of them, and like, who really cares about all the esports stuff?
Not us.
We're going down our list. Best score in music. The winner here, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think no surprise on that one. Like, everyone in all the chats I saw were spamming Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but if there's like, I know so much Final Fantasy music in general, and I've played like 2 of the games. Like, it's iconic.
Yeah, exactly. They spent so much time on the music for this game, and they put a lot of detail into it and whatnot, and it shows. And congrats to them for getting that
Mhm.
award. Best action adventure game
This
goes
went to The Last of Us Part 2.
Part 2.
Part
So,
2.
I didn't play it. You played it.
I played it, and this is going to be a recurring theme for me for the night. But The Last of Us Part 2 fell flat in a lot of ways for me.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of action adventure game, like the strongest thing Last of Us Part 2 has going for it is its story, its narrative, not the gameplay. Even Last of Us 1, the gameplay wasn't like incredible. So I don't know. I felt that Ghost of Tsushima not getting this one was a little weird, but considering everything of how the rest of the night unfolded, it's not totally unwarranted.
Mm-hmm.
But Ghost of Tsushima was such a great action adventure game, and I'm definitely biased towards that game for sure.
Yeah. Best ongoing game. This went to No Man's Sky, which,
kind of wild. Considering where No Man's Sky was on release,
the roller coaster of that game.
Yeah, being the most shit on game of maybe the last 5 years at that point, coming to the point where
there's a new game that might be the new shit on game, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's just, you know what? I played it. I didn't like it, but good for them. Good for you guys, No Man's Sky. I'm happy to see some success for them.
I played it. I enjoyed what I played, and then I pick it up every now and then. And I need to just start from scratch, I think, to really immerse myself into all the new stuff. But super exciting that they continue to put out content for that game, and it shows. They really have turned themselves around on the reactions people had to what it is now. Best art direction. This one goes to our boy Ghost of Sushi. It's gotta
let's go.
This game had some of the best art and just visualizations of markers and things in the game, where it felt like the game and not a video game.
Yeah, and the whole world was stunning. Every region was stunning, especially anytime you had one of those missions where you go into a hallucination kind of style and you got to see some less realistic, more psychedelic sort of art taking place, graphics and everything. Every time that happened, it was yes, this is, my eyes are having an orgasm right now.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
Yeah, definitely a great game. Best action game. This goes to Hades. Which I was excited for because I've seen so many of my friends mention it, and it looks fun. It looks great. It had good art as well, by the way. But Hades got action game, so congrats to the team.
Yeah, and not even best, that's best action game out of every game. So that's such a accomplishment for an indie game. Love it.
Best VR/AR game. This could only go to one
no
game
surprise,
this year.
Yeah,
there was no surprise here. Yeah, I'm like, wait, we're actually gonna list other games. I'm sorry, but Half-Life Alyx.
Haven't even played it, and I wouldn't expect it to go to anyone else.
I don't know how I own it. I own it for some reason. I did not buy it. I bought it.
I own it too, and I haven't gotten to it yet. But
I didn't buy it. That's the weird part. It's just it wasn't gifted to me.
Weird.
It's just on my account. I think it was just one of those, Steam glitches where oh, I think you have an index, which I don't have. And it's here you go. Best sports/racing game. I feel like this was a little bit of a cheat, but this is the one I voted for, so I don't mind. But
yeah, because it's a remake of.
It's a remake.
PS1 and 2.
And skateboarding's a sport, but to lump it into best sports/racing game, I feel like that does a disservice to some games. Because Tony Hawk Pro Skater gonna win. It was up against FIFA and a FIFA game's gonna win. That's just a rehash of last year's game, which is a rehash of last year's game, which is a rehash. So I was I would have said Dirt 5 for a racing game, and then sports game, if you're going to include skateboard, which I guess would be Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I guess there aren't enough sports games to have because apart from every yearly version of Madden, FIFA, NBA, what other sports games really come out, so they kind of have to lump it together.
They do, which I guess makes sense. But yeah, like it seems so sad.
Yeah.
Anyways, most anticipated game.
Elden Ring. Yeah.
I okay. Congrats.
I'm not surprised at this one.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but I'm just I guess it had to come out, so it would have been Cyberpunk otherwise, right?
Yeah. Because Elden Ring is anyone who likes like Dark Souls, one of the most popular game styles at this point in gaming. Game of Thrones, one of the most popular media. You take those two things and combine the creators to work on a new project. It's going to get everybody's jimmies all fired up, right? Like Elden Ring, it's got the history to earn the hype for sure.
Yeah, it does. And like, it's not my type of game, but to others, it's like, it's their type of game for sure. So
I don't think we've ever, have you ever played the Dark Souls or games? Any of them?
In testing.
In testing? Oh yeah. I guess that's fair.
Yeah. I just, that's a sit down, play this game and learn and like
put in replay. 12 hours before you go to sleep kind of game. Yeah.
Yep. Best narrative.
Best narrative.
Last of Us Part 2.
This one, you know what? I'm not even gonna be too like. That's what the game was about. The game is a story. The game is essentially a movie. And I think it was a great story. The biggest issue I had with the story was specifically the way it was presented, not necessarily the story itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care who you are, man. You throw me spoilers, kind of, but you throw me out of the climax of the story right at the climax and then give me 12 hours of slow-paced build-up again. It's like, no thanks. I don't want storytelling blue balls. No thanks.
Yep. Understandable.
Yeah.
Best multiplayer game. This one goes to no surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. Among Us takes it. No contest.
Super Mario Maker 2. Oh. Yeah, no, Among Us, like, well-deserved, like, out of nowhere, the last 4 months of the year, they came in and just, like, stole the show. Probably would have went to Fall Guys. Even with their horrible multiplayer, but like that took the world by storm. And then Among Us is like, hold my beans, I'm in, and like well deserved to the team. It was so exciting to see them because they that's huge to them. This is a game they built 3 years ago.
Seeing the tears coming out.
Oh yeah,
it was so cute.
It couldn't have gone to a better team, honestly. Sorry, Bean guys, you get your day in the sun. Best indie game, Hades. Well deserved again, best action game, best indie game.
Yeah.
Great work. Best audio design, Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah. I can't say I'm an expert on audio design. So like this one, Doom, I figured had a high chance because I know Doom has a good reputation for great audio design, but I don't particularly know how to distinguish these games that were nominated in this
how do you win an award for audio design? Is that just like best use of audio in your game and like immersion and all that? Like, because could I just focus an entire game on audio and probably get this award? I'm not saying
you probably
audio
have to be popular too, though, so you got to be a good game at the same time.
Oh, it's got to be a good game. Fuck.
Yeah.
Has there been a puzzle game with audio? Like we were talking about the puzzle game with Shadows, and audio is gonna be a lot harder, but like visualizing audio like with some sort of glasses or something that then you have to use with a puzzle. I don't know.
Interesting.
Think about that.
You got an idea on your hands there.
Yeah. All right. I got one. All right. Best role-playing game, Final Fantasy VII.
Yep. I mean, it's second time on the list, and I don't think it really had too much competition in that genre that last year.
Yeah. I feel like you're right. Best sim/strategy game, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like, this is a more recent game, but like all the joysticks and stuff were sold out of all the stores because of this game.
When it came out, I was shocked to see how many of our friends were so interested in it.
I mean, the flight simulator games way back in the day were cool. And like, who really doesn't have the idea, like wants to be able to fly a plane? Like almost anyone you ask, if given a chance, like, hey, tomorrow you wake up, you have the ability to fly any plane in the world. Where do you go? Like most people are like, yeah, I want that. I would do that. I'd fly somewhere. Like most people would be like, I don't want to fly. I don't, unless they're like terrified of flying completely. But like, this is such a cool thing. And so like, makes sense. Because otherwise, like, would it have been Sims 4? Did that come out this year? I don't even know.
No, Sims 4 is pretty old, I think, at this point.
Yeah. All right. Player's voice. This goes to our ghost buddy.
We'll take it. We take those.
Yeah. Player's voice. I mean, the players spoke. This is the game of the year to the players.
That's where I voted.
Like, yep. Best fighting game, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Excuse me, Smash Brothers. But I don't know. Mortal Kombat, like my problem with Mortal Kombat these days is they were fun way back in the day. 1, 2, 3, and I think there was literally called Mortal Kombat Ultimate at one point.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate was like the 3 premiere version with all the characters and everything.
Yeah. So like the Mortal Kombat was cool, and then it shifted, and they had the Mortal Kombat 64, and it was like not so good, and then they had 3D, and it's like not so good. And
the shift to 3D was what fucked it.
It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. And so like I kind of lost interest, but I know 11's been good, and I think 10 was good as well. But
yeah.
So why not? Because what other game was there?
Yeah, like the latest version of Street Fighter V was in there. And other than, I think there was like a Blaze Blue game or something. I gotta be honest, man. I don't play a lot of the fighting games that aren't Smash Bros. So
right, yeah. I mean, that's the game that I'm gonna want to play, Smash Brothers. So it's interesting, but I guess updates DLC don't count. It's got to be a new updated game.
It's just so weird that like new updated versions of the game count. Like Street Fighter V is not a game that came out, but Street Fighter V Championship Edition is, and it's like the game is just packed in DLC. That's what that title is.
Yeah, corporate.
It's like buying Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition. Like it just comes with the DLC. It's not a different game.
We should, you know what games should do? Like Nintendo should have just released Smash Brothers Game Award Edition.
They should. Dude, I bet you Smash Brothers Ultimate Game, like,
it's gonna
final collection is coming out when the last characters dropped. Yeah.
Yeah, like as a cartridge too, for sure. Like, don't make could you imagine picking up your Switch 20 years from now and be like, fuck, I can't play a Sephiroth because I can't connect to the Nintendo servers? How shitty would that be?
That would suck butts.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Game with best accessibility. Last of Us Part 2.
Good job, Last of Us. Yeah.
Yeah. That's can't shit on them for that. That's a huge thing to have. So
there was a lot of really impressive like high scale games in this category too. So it's cool to see, and especially like it was its own category, like, and it's been up there, and it's a high point of focus. It's cool to see it getting the recognition for focusing on accessibility, and that was the category that Reggie got to introduce.
Yeah, fix your mic, Reggie.
Yeah, fix your fucking mic, dude.
You're worth how much? Best mobile game. Again, no surprise. Yeah. Mario Run.
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Among Us, again, well deserved. They cried again. Who knew you could cry twice in an hour?
Best game direction. We got Take a Wild Guess, Jaku.
Oh, Among Us.
Last of Us 2 comes in with another one right here. Best game direction. What does that category mean exactly?
I think there's many directions you can go in life: north, south, east, west. And I think north is probably the best direction. And I think that game had you going north the most.
You did start by going to Seattle, which I believe was north of where you started in the game.
Yeah. So I think north is best direction.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know what that means exactly. Director, maybe.
Maybe it is like the direction, as in like the director of the game. So would that be like the composition and flow of all of the cinematics?
That makes sense. Which I could agree with that, I guess, from what I've seen of the game.
Sure. Yeah.
Other than that switcheroo, that was definitely not a good direction. But
Hey.
anyways, the last award, and this is the one that actually matters, is the game of the year.
Game of the year.
Game of the year is, it's a coveted title. Any game that is released this year prior to the Game Awards, not the day of or the day before Cyberpunk. I think the date was like October. You had to be out by October or something.
Yeah, they weren't going to make that.
Yeah, they should have just released it and then be like, oh no, we got to pull it. It would have worked. And then, so yeah, tons of games this year could have had this. There was a lot of games in the running, but it went to one game in particular that just stood out from the rest, according to them, and that is The Last of Us Part 2.
And congratulations to them, but the general opinion, I feel, the player's voice is that Ghost of Tsushima was the game of the year. And I stand by that because it was an incredible game in a lot of ways. I don't know. Last of Us 2 felt like everyone was telling me to like it more.
Right. It had a good run, I guess, and then it just it's a game that you don't need to go back and play. I feel like is the thing with it.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, I don't have a PlayStation, but I played it through some janky ass networking and the help of my friends like Fef and xwater, and we got to play that, and I thought it was amazing. I thought it was a great game. We played some co-op, so much fun. I went out of my way to play this game, and I know I'm not the only person out there that matters for this sort of stuff. So obviously it doesn't matter, but I actually went out to play this game because it looked so good. The story was pretty fun, and it just seemed so cool. So I don't know how many people are doing that for Last of Us Part 2, but at the end of the day, congrats to your win. They did keep the streak going. Best action adventure game that wins typically goes on to win Game of the Year. So it's one of the first categories they show off every year. And so far, it's always been true. So if you want to make some quick money, don't tell your friends. And then when they announce the best action adventure game, be like, I bet you that game's going to win Game of the Year. And your friend will be like,
chance.
Or take that bet, because they're idiots. You got to have that one idiot friend that will take any bet. And then boom, you're rich. As long as that idiot friend's rich.
It's I would have loved to see Hades take it. It would have been nice to see the first indie game that takes the Game of the Year, and I truly think that Hades did do enough in its genre that was literally I don't know, I'm never going to be able to jump back to other roguelikes and not have that little voice in my head that goes, oh man, Hades really made this aspect of this way doper. Roping the story into the restarting and the progression through everything is so smooth. It's just we did this. We already did the Hades circle jerk, so I'm not gonna. And we already did the Ghost of Tsushima circle jerk. We never had our Last of Us 2 circle jerk. So let them. They'll have theirs. They can enjoy it, and it was a good game. It wasn't a bad game. It just, to me, I don't think was my favorite of this year.
Yep. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it did meet my criteria for Game of the Year, just barely, but same as Ghost technically. In that is that the game needs to be out for a large portion of the year. I feel like that should be something that's there. Again, Hades is fairly new, and it's a great game. But I guess it's been it. Was it in early access or was it?
It was in early access for a good while, but I think it officially released sometime in September, October.
Yeah, so it just got in, and it's that game's great, and I think so. There's exceptions to the rules, but I feel like Game of the Year needs to be out for a few months prior to an award show because so many people get hyped up on a game, and that's what I was worried about last year. And I don't remember what game it was, but so guys, you've been playing this game for I think it was Spider-Man. And I'm you guys have been playing this game for a month and you think it's the best game ever because it's the current game you're playing, but give it 4 months. Do you go back to it? that's how you can tell if it's the game of the year. I feel like if you go back to it,
if it has a lasting effect, lasting impact,
yeah, I feel like that needs to be a big part of it. Anyways, that's the Game Awards.
That's the Game
Warp
Awards.
World Game Award wrap up.
Yeah,
the Warp Up coined it. But we got one other piece of Twitch news going on before we get into this week's hot take and some side questions. Why don't you take it away, xwater?
Sure. Yeah. So Twitch is introducing, as of, I believe, January 22nd, 2021, an update to their hateful conduct and harassment policy. And there's a bunch of changes to a few categories of their TOS, essentially, where the rules are getting a lot stricter in terms of punishments for people who harass, are hateful, or harass sexually other people on the platform. And like the majority of it, to me, because I didn't read through too extensively, but the things I've seen, very welcome changes, very excited about the concept. I don't know, one in particular stood out because we know somebody who has dealt with some pretty shitty, lame, and unwelcome sexual harassment. And just seeing this one in particular, where repeatedly commenting on someone's perceived attractiveness, even in what you believe to be a positive or complimentary manner, is prohibited if there's an indication that it is unwelcome. So if someone walks in to some girl's stream and goes, "Hey, cutie," and they go, "Hey, welcome to the stream, but don't talk to me like that," and then you say it again, bam, you can be banned for that. And that's important. That's important to be able to tell people when you tell people to shut the fuck up about your body, you should have that right. You should be able to tell people that. And so I'm excited that this is being the stance that Twitch is taking. How do you feel about these updates?
No, I think it's about time. And I really hope that they actually follow through on this a little bit more than their past promises about changing their conducts and all that. So this is going into effect next month, and they're like, we want to let you know ahead of time because, we promised we'd be more forthcoming with this sort of stuff. And here we are. But like right now, it's just a bunch of lip service, because they basically said this before, like, we're going to take things more serious and, hold us accountable and all that. And like
the hold us accountable
changed?
Tweet. Yeah.
Yeah. What's changed since then? That was like 2 years ago. So I do hope that they do turn over a new leaf and actually do follow through on this. Cause like there are a lot of people that we know personally that have been affected by things like this. And so having them actually do something means that'd be huge. So please, Twitch, actually do what you said you're going to do this time.
Yeah. There's a lot of great ideas and rules and just general concepts in here, but it is important that Twitch they walk the walk. You can talk the talk, but you got to walk the walk. We want to see actual enforcement of these policies on anybody, on a streamer, no matter how popular they are, or on a viewer, no matter who they are. If someone goes and crosses these lines, they need to be held accountable regardless of their position. And it doesn't always feel like Twitch does that. So, you know what? Let's just keep holding them accountable and see what they do.
Yep. Yeah. And, some of the stuff in here in their FAQ, like it could be, it's hard to say until they actually start enforcing things, how it's going to go down. Some of can I be suspended for sexually suggestive conversations, even if I do not intend to harass anyone? It's like, as a streamer, you might have a rapport with somebody and you might say something slightly suggestive. And like, they're like, our guidelines, do not apply in conversations where there is clear mutual consent. However, even if both parties have clear established relationship, it's like, wait, hold on. What? Like, they may still enforce it. So like, there's some stuff there. You just got to be careful though. I think like that's more than anything, especially nowadays, be careful what you say and how you say it, because there's a camera on you, number one. And, don't be a dick.
Yeah. I mean, it's very true. Like I've actually had the problem lately in my chat sometimes where some people will go too far with me and it'll make me uncomfortable. Like people will come in and they'll be overly thirsty.
Yeah. Hey, xwater.
Yeah. And sometimes it happens. And there's like a difference between, viewers who have been around for 40, 50 months who, come in and throw the occasional joke. I had one today with someone, Rated R, actually, a common question asker, who came in and made like a funny sexual joke, but we have that rapport. We've been talking for all this time, and like I know he doesn't feel that way about me, but it was just a joke, and you know that line wasn't crossed because it has been established within our relationship. But if someone else walked up and said that same exact thing verbatim, based off of that lack of understanding between us, I could be in a position where I'm like, that's weird. Don't say that to me.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think
Context is important.
Context is very important, and it's hard to figure that out directly from a conversation you're having with somebody. But yeah, just know where you are with people and be on good behavior.
Yeah.
All right. So this week's hot take. It's pretty hot. Hot take. So Cyberpunk 2077 is finally out. People have had a full 24 hours or so with the game. Well, potentially have had a full 24 hours. It's a hot mess, according to many players. Anyone playing on consoles, for instance, are complaining of bugs and, you know, just bugs and crashes and all sorts of stuff. PC players are having issues where if they're not running the latest, you know, RTX 3000 series cards, they're not getting frames that they were expecting based on the recommended specs. They're getting crashes, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Now, the game has been delayed numerous times. It's been over a year delayed, right? Like
I think so.
Yeah. And like, I think they were like, we're going to spend 9 months fixing some bugs. So the question is like, did they actually fix shit? Or did they just get things ready for like PS5 and Xbox Series whatever we're on?
Yeah. I remember when Cyberpunk was first announced, their release date tagline said, "You'll get it when it's ready." And everybody was like, "Wow, look at that. That's so cool."
They're going to do something that everybody should do.
Yeah.
And, did they do it?
I don't think I think they put out an unfinished game. I legitimately believe that they were not done their QA process, but the game was in a state where it is playable. And because of the infrastructure we have in gaming now, where patching is so easy to do day one, and even after that, I anticipate the game in 6 months, maybe 9, will be at the state that they wanted it to be at upon release. I think that's when we're going to see the Cyberpunk that they wanted to give us. But until then, the thing we're playing right now that people are playing, in my opinion, is likely just the result of them having a lot of pressure put on them to, you know, have that game released from, you know, shareholders. I think CD Projekt Red is publicly traded. So
I don't. I think they're private, but no, they do have shareholders. You're right.
Yeah.
And I know Poland is like even invested in them.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they might be going for an award next year for best ongoing game, the Game Awards. But yeah, like the tagline, like you said, like when it's finished, you know, like, and I get it. Like they had a lot of pressure from people, gamers, and they had pressure from, you know, management, I'm sure, and the government. The government put pressure on them. Like when the government's getting involved in your game, you gotta step back a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
But like it is kind of unfortunate for this game to have got all this hype and to have these issues for people. And like some people are having fine. You know, some people are like, yeah, there's some frame rate issues here and there, but otherwise it's fairly playable. I'm okay to look past a few bugs of people walking through cars or cars going through other cars, and like I think that's fine. It breaks the immersion a little bit, as long as it's not like constantly crashing and stuff. But like it didn't look visually pleasing from what I could see because people weren't able to run it at visual pleasing specs. I've seen more users actually suggesting you get it on Stadia so that you can actually play it at a bearable frame rate.
Stadia strikes again. It's really weaseling their way into the news.
They really are. So like that's the crazy thing is like Stadia actually is probably going to benefit a lot from this game more than anything. So it makes me think Google actually paid them to release it now to get users on Stadia. That's my conspiracy
their last hurrah. Yeah, it's their last hurrah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if Google did actually have some sort like it doesn't seem far-fetched. It doesn't seem far-fetched. I don't think it happened, but if you told me it as a fact, I would say like, well, I believe that.
Yeah. And like, yeah, Witcher 3 came out with bugs. They've turned a lot of that around. That game was a joke when I think it first released. People were making fun of it. You know, it is what it is.
Those big open world games are very prone to, like, every Fallout and Skyrim game are the same thing when they launch. They're filled with bugs.
Absolutely. Fallout and Skyrim and, man, Assassin's Creed, anything open world, you're gonna find some stuff. So, like, it's understandable. And I think, like, looking past some of the glitches and stuff is okay, but there's just some stuff in there that seems like it was like they knew what they were getting into. Because, like, I read in some threads, like, people were like, yeah, and I don't remember the spots because I'm not playing the game, but he's like, yeah, after you do this one mission, did you crash? And, like, tons of people like, that's exactly when I crashed. So, like, the fact that, like, hundreds of people are having the same crash in the same spots, that seems like something you would have probably found in QA and or whatever. But you're like, you know what? It saves their game. They get resumed right back where they left off. It's just a crash.
Exactly. I have a friend who's playing it, and he was telling me about, like, whenever he opens up his inventory, he has, like, if he does a particular action while he's in his inventory, he'll get a visual glitch that won't go away until he resets the game as well.
Oh,
and
ouch.
Just stuff like that. I haven't read through all the stories of people's experience, but it feels like my personal theory is, like, we all know that Cyberpunk is CD Projekt Red is very, very crunch heavy with the final moments of their game, even kind of, like, not at the final moments, but just like Rockstar, just like Naughty Dog, just like all of these big AAA studios that are making these, like, probably industry leading, I would call them, I think is the only thing I can say, industry leading games like Red Dead, Last of Us, and Cyberpunk. They could all fit in that category, and they all have this same crunch that goes on at the end. But the thing is, I don't think the crunch is as effective in a pandemic, because you can't force your workers to work as hard when they're working from home, especially because during a crunch, you're forcing them to work, like, stupidly hard, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sure the pandemic definitely messed with their timelines a bit more. And, like, the developers and everyone that worked on the project, we understand, like, you know, you did what you could given the time, and, like, it's not your choice to release the game where it's at. And no one's trying to shit on your hard work and your crunch, which, you know, you guys were trying not to do, and we're thankful that you did end up. Well, yeah, I guess we are thankful. Like, as much as we don't want you to do it, we're thankful that you did. But it just, it's unfortunate, because the game could have been a much better game given another month or two. If not 6 months, but obviously at the end of the day, like, they had to get the game out at some point. Otherwise they would have lost more money, and maybe the game would have never come out.
I think, and I think that's it. I think they were forced, their hand was forced, you know, just from a business standpoint. Like, no particular entity, like Sony didn't go up and be like, we need this out right now. But they, in order to keep their business afloat, in my head, needed this game to be released. And just, I think in 9 months, for the average player, if you want to play Cyberpunk and you're not sitting here like, this is the most excited I've been for a game of all time. Like, if you're in the same boat as me, where you're like, this looks cool, but I've got tons of other stuff I want to play, wait until it gets its same thing as that The Witcher has, like those Game of the Year editions, and then pick that up. You're going to get it for cheaper. You're going to get the DLC, and you're going to get an experience that doesn't have these game-breaking bugs, and hopefully is refined to a point where you can experience what, like, this final product was really, really, really meant to be.
Exactly. And I think that's the best way to do it, is just wait it out a little bit longer if you can. If you're really excited for the game and you can look past some of the bugs, great, get it now. But, like, for the majority of people, just wait. Just wait a little bit longer. It's not. You've already waited 5 years. What's another 6 months or so?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. We had a second hot take, and it's, you know, Reggie, like, I don't even think it's a hot take. It's just like, Reggie, what are you doing, man?
Got to get a new mic, bro.
Did anyone test that? Yeah. Like, come on, man. You could have used the laptop mic and it would have been better. You know, that's
know
probably
what
what it was. That's probably what it was.
He probably had the headset in, but was using the laptop mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's probably what it was.
Because you could tell he cared. He was the only person who had a headset with a mic.
Yeah, but it probably went to default audio settings. Oh, Reggie. All right, I take it back.
No.
Windows Device Manager strikes again.
Man,
All right.
One other small thing about like the people in the awards that bugged me was the girl who like read her speech off her phone.
Off her
I was
iPhone,
like,
yeah.
man, put some effort in. Like, put a teleprompter up behind your webcam. Tape a piece of paper. Come on, like It was like when a kid goes up in for a speech in grade school and they're like reading off of their cue cards the whole time, and it's like, dude, it's an easy job. Just memorize it. It's not a long speech.
Yeah. It's like that I was waiting for someone to call her to congratulate her and have it like bring up
Yeah.
the
That was one of my favorite parts, how everybody kept getting notifications and you're like, those are congratulations texts.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the next so we're moving on to side questions. And I think
My
we got time
favorite
for
part of the show.
one today.
All
It's
right.
going a little long, people.
Yeah.
What's up, nerds? What is the most stuck you have ever been in a video game? It can either be a puzzle like the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time or a final boss that you banged your head against repeatedly. Your friend, rated R. Oh my God.
Oh, I got a good one for this. When I was a kid, do you remember playing? Did you play Star Fox Adventure on the GameCube?
I played some of it. I never beat it.
I was almost in that same boat. I almost never beat it because maybe 10, 15 hours into the game, you encounter a challenge where the game wants you to compete in like a tug of war with one of the alien dudes. I don't remember what it was. And this tug of war was so impossible. I could not, like, you just have to mash A, but I couldn't beat it. I just couldn't. I tried for hours and hours and hours and I couldn't mash fast enough. So I put the game down and I tried a few more times for the next couple weeks and I just couldn't. So eventually I was playing video games with friends, I think Mario Party one day, and a friend of mine showed me the double finger tap technique where you instead of pressing A with your thumb, you alternate between two fingers at a slower pace, but because you're alternating, you're getting a super fast press out of it. So I took that, I went back to Star Fox Adventure, I beat that alien, and I beat the game after like a year and a half later of being stuck on that mash puzzle. Not even puzzle, mash challenge.
Right.
And that's probably the most stuck I've ever been in a video game. That or the last Korok seed in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, sure. That's a good one. Man, I know I've had moments in games, nothing like the button pressing, definitely puzzle related. And like,
has a Final Fantasy game ever stumped you for a stupidly long time?
I mean, Final Fantasy 11's all about stumping you forever. So that game is all that game is. I would one memory, this Goof Troop for the SNES, and this is so silly, but like near the end of the game, there's a puzzle where you have to push these blocks and get them in the right slots and stuff. And it's one of those blocks where you push it and it goes the entire distance until it hits a wall or something.
Yeah. So
you can't change where it goes. And like, I remember as a kid, that puzzle being like something that I struggled on way back when. So that's one puzzle, but like, I know there's other games where I'm like, oh, this puzzle sucks. I walk away from it. And it does, like, I don't remember that sort of stuff. It's just like, I get frustrated on it. I move on, or I figure it out eventually and I erase those memories. I think I probably just erase them because it's like, why else? Yeah, I mean,
the
Saturn
trauma doesn't stick with you. Yeah. You've got a talent for moving on.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's definitely I can move on from stuff. It's kind of, you have to sometimes. But yeah, I don't have it. Like, I like your story because like there's a goal. I would say, I played the Samurai Jack game not too long ago, the new one.
Oh yeah.
And I put it on the hard difficulty because I'm like, it's a Samurai Jack game. How hard can it be? It's actually kind of hard. I think I spent like an hour on a boss, like just like trying over an hour, maybe even 2 hours. Like It was one of those like, okay, I'll go to bed after I beat him, and like it kept me up. So
that's great. That's great. Do you recommend that game? Should I try it?
I think it's fun. I haven't beaten it yet because I haven't had time to, but it's enjoyable. I don't know. I think it was $40. So like I would probably, it's not too bad. I would say like 20 is definitely a buy. 30 is like a maybe.
I got you. Pick it up on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. We did it.
Reddit.
We survived another show, and we've got what this week. Next week is episode 178, but the week after that, 2 weeks from now, we are hosting the Warpies. It's going to be on the 23rd because the 24th is Thursday, but it's Christmas Eve, and we don't want to spend our Christmas Eve recording a podcast.
Yeah.
So get excited. Email in some categories if you have ideas. We're going to be covering everything from Twitch to who's got the best hair, to who's got the hottest muscles, to who's got the sexiest voice. We're covering it all. Who's the best Fall Guys competitor? Get us these categories, many like that, or anything else you can think of, and we'll do our best to do them justice.
Yeah. Send your nominees in. Send
them to podcast@warp.world, along with your side questions if you got them. We've been getting a lot more of those lately. Wish we could have got through more because a lot of the ones that got emailed in this week were really, really good. And it sucks that we spend so much time on the non-question part of the show because this is my favorite part, honestly.
Yeah, we're saving them up. And best Warp World employee. There you go. That was
best. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I nominate Pooh. He never misses a podcast.
He never misses a meeting or a podcast. He's like, perfect attendance.
Yeah.
We're wrong with our times is what it is, xwater.
Yeah. He shows up an hour later. He's like, where are they at? I don't know. I guess I won't record this week.
Johnny did have a good question. Why are we doing all these sexually charged categories right after the new TOS? It's actually before the new TOS. That goes into effect January.
We're getting our jimmies out. Not
like that.
We're getting we're getting
Bye everyone. But no, thank you so much, everyone. And we are doing 21 days of holiday cheer, whatever. What are we calling it? 21 days.
21 days of holiday hype. We didn't talk about it till now. Shit, we gotta talk about it.
We gotta talk about it. It's ongoing right now. You guys all love it.
Right now. We're giving away tons of stuff on Twitter. Every week, there's going to be another giveaway going on Twitter. Right now, if you're listening to this live on Twitch, we're giving away a Mario Kart Live along with the Steel Series Arctis 3 headset. So an awesome pack right there. But next week, as of this Monday coming up, is a new prize. I can't say it because it's a surprise. But they just get better and better and better as the weeks go on. The prizes build up. And you're not going to want to miss it. So keep your eyes on the Warp World Twitter for that, along with all of our other announcements. What have we announced so far, Jaku?
Well, so on the first day, we announced the giveaway, which I've linked to in the Twitch, so that anyone that's currently watching can get a hold of that.
Yeah.
Day 2, we announced a Dark Souls 1 and 3 update for crowd control. Comes with a few new effects. Yeah. So, really adding some polish. Day 3 was a very fun day for xwater. We did a island giveaway where he gave out 1 crown, 1 million bells, and 5 Nook Mile tickets to anyone just showing up for over 5 hours. Amazing work. We also announced a brand new crowd control effect pack for Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. So that's now available to anyone, any crowd control users. And then we have already announced this one, but tomorrow's announcement is the Warp World Game Show right here on this channel, Warp World Staff, 8 p.m. Eastern. We actually got 4 guests. We got the Dragon Feeny, Moni Streams, Kelpsy, and GG Georgie. They're going to compete for a grand prize of who's the best at the Warp World Game Show. But
I love that.
It's being hosted by the one and only Chud Breeder and Cliffy. So definitely tune in for that tomorrow night on this channel. If you're listening to this on Monday, go back and watch it and let us know what you like about the game show, because we're trying some really cool stuff. The set is amazing. Ross, aka Chud Breeder, has outdone himself. It was so much fun.
As he does. Yeah, as he does.
Yeah. So it's going to be really cool. So it's going to be like unlike anything else you've seen on Twitch, I think. So look for that. But yeah, next week we got 21 days. So this is just day 5. We got 16 more days of craziness.
Yeah. Every pretty much Moni's nightmare, 21 days of nonstop intense advertisement.
I'm glad we went away from the 21 crowd control effect packs.
Oh yeah, I'm glad we did. Yeah, that one was an intense idea. That would have been yeah.
That was you came in and like, "Hold on. This sounds fun."
You always say, this is a Jaku quote, everybody likes a yes man, but everybody needs a no man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I need people to tell me no occasionally.
Yeah.
So, and you did. So thank you. But yeah, guys, check out the Twitter Warp World on Twitter for all this information and more. And hopefully you will win one of these giveaways.
That's right. You right there. All right. Episode 177 in the books. We're done. Thanks for listening live on Twitch and in your ears on any podcast app. We'll see you next week. Have a great one.
Bye.